Welcome back, viewers. We're still on Business Compass and we're still talking fashion with Now of Details by Neyomi. Now, you're doing great.
Thank you.
So, you clearly know your cost of production,
Yes,
at least in
please.
terms of the direct cost. I think that's
right.
the direct cost. So we're going to help you figure out how to also calculate your indirect costs, so that you actually get to the point where you know what all it costs to produce a dress, and then you can be sure that when you're selling it, you're pricing it right to cover all that and pay yourself and Neyomi, because that's why you're in business, to make money. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
Mona,
Yes, thank you, Charlotte. So you've confirmed some of the things that you know. Therefore, at the end of the month, you also get bills, electricity bills, water bills, because you have workers
Salaries.
on site, and you have salaries, you have SNIT payments, and so forth.
Are you paying rent?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You're
We're
paying
paying
rent,
rent.
so
Yes, please.
you know what that is
Yes,
as a
please.
proportion of the
Yes,
whole year.
please.
Another big thing that is in your pricing is the price for the design, because it's not just another outfit.
Have you ever added that to your costing? No.
Oh, you don't have a premium for the design?
She didn't
You
figure that
don't.
was a cost, but it's good. I didn't think about that,
About
so it's
it
good to
too.
know. Yeah.
So yes, because there is a difference.
Okay.
It's by Neyomi. You've paid attention to detail.
details.
You've done all the customer service. So the style itself has a price. Then of course the delivery costs and so forth. Which I think you let the customer pay
Yes,
right
please.
away.
Yes, please.
But the pricing of your outfit is very important, because at the end of the year, when you're doing your annual statement, you need to know what your true costs were, both direct and indirect. And when we say indirect, it's the ones we've just gone through, those ones that you spread over everything. And therefore in accounting we call that overhead costs, because it's spread. I mean, with your labor, you can say Achu sold this particular dress and you can tag it, but sometimes it's too much micro accounting. You just look at all your labor costs and spread it over
And
what
divided
has
by
been,
the number of dresses?
yes,
Okay.
out of the outfits that have been sewn. Okay. And sometimes you will look at maybe the intricacy of certain outfits and make adjustments. So later we will talk about weighted average of some of those things. But we'll
Mona,
talk about
here's a
that
question
later.
I have. When she's okay, so let's take a month. So say January, they made 50 dresses. It's only at the end of January that they would know their utility costs.
That's right.
They will know salaries and all that. And then they can divide that by the number of dresses and figure out that each dress, in terms of indirect costs, maybe we should have put 10 CDs.
Okay, so
No,
Charlotte,
but my question is this. By the time they're doing that, they have those figures. They've
it's
already sent
feeling
out the clothes.
Postmortem, no.
Yes.
So let me correct that. So overhead costs, those are generally stable.
So
They are
you fix
monthly
them.
recurrent. They know how much they pay all their
So
tailors.
they should just fix it.
They
and-
know that.
Okay.
What they don't know at the beginning is perhaps that we are going to get 2 bridal outfits, 2 christening, and it will involve silk or just cotton.
Okay.
So those are the variable parts that, yes, you are
Okay,
right.
so let me
they
try
won't
and
know ahead
simplify
of
this.
time.
So your exercise, because you came with your paper and pencil, and I like
Yes,
that.
please.
Your exercise is that when you go back, sit and look over the past 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, and figure out, if you know that every month this is the average of your water bill, your electricity, those ones, and now divide that by, let's say, 50 dresses, to know that for every time we make a dress, we're adding
That's right.
20 CDs to the pricing to represent that cost, rent and all that. Then you're not doing that every month. Then, like Auntie Mona is saying, what you're now going to be doing is that for the style itself, when you know that I'm starting with my 20 CDs, which covers all those other things. For this particular style, this is the fabric I'm putting in. This is the accessories I'm adding to it. It's a very complicated bridal wear, so I'm adding this to it. And so this is the total pricing. So it's not something you're going to be repeating every month in terms of
That's
the
right.
exercise of
That's
calculating your indirect costs. I think that makes it easier.
Yes. So per outfit, what you will bring which we now realize you had lost, was your premium for the design. And write that down, because that is what you're actually selling. Otherwise, I can go to any kiosk around the corner or to any tailor in her house, but I come to you because of your design, so the premium for that. Then many times when you have issues with cash flows, that is, you are not able to reconcile your inflows and your outflows, it's because of some of the indirect costs we talked about. You didn't even factor it in. You assumed it's a given. But keep a close eye on all those indirect costs. What are those costs in here that I don't usually think about, but in fact, it has a bearing on my production? So consider that.
For cash flow management, would it help if, for like a high-end piece, they ask the client to pay like 60-70% upfront before?
Is that
delivery?
What you do?
Yeah, that's what we do.
What percentage do you ask for as a down payment?
70.
Okay.
70%.
They shouldn't be having such major cash flow issues.
70%.
It's because they don't price their design. They don't price the design at all. And that's your labor. That's what you bring to it.
You and Neyomi, are you on salaries?
Yeah, it's.
But you see, if you had put salaries for yourself, it will be part of the pricing. Then you may not be having, because when you are calculating the salaries you pay the tailors, you would have added yours.
Charlotte, I suspect they're almost pricing at cost, and the cost meaning
look
without
like
their labor. They don't think of that premium that they.
But you get up to run this every day because it is a business, and so for the business to be sustainable, you have to be taken care of.
That's right.
So if you cannot pay your own bills, which would enable you to get up and go to work every day, how is a business going to be sustainable? It's not a hobby, it's a business. And it means you're out there to make money. And so if you're paying everyone and not paying yourselves, what's the incentive to get up every morning and go to work?
Good.
So passion.
Yeah, well,
passion, but passion has to be fed.
It's you have to feed it. It
costs
money.
School fees on passion.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, you have to pay for it. So basically, viewers at home and now, pricing is a critical part of doing your business, and you need to look at all the costs involved to be able to come out with a proper pricing, because you cannot charge too differently for outfits. Customers discuss amongst themselves, oh, is Neyomi expensive? How much does she usually charge? So you need to know how you are charging and keep to it. Not all of a sudden say, oh, I just realized this. And so that's the thing for pricing. We've discussed assets, we've discussed liabilities. Now, at the end of the year, when we do our financial statements, we are able to tell our net worth out of knowing the difference between the assets and our liabilities. For now, you don't seem to have any institutional liabilities. So let's have that clear. Your bookkeeper must have that clear before you start trying to even
Because once you want to expand, then that will come up. Yeah.
Okay, so then we want to do that. We also want to understand profitability. So for all this effort and all the savings and so forth that you've put into the business, what are you gaining by doing this? Is it just joy of sewing clothes, or do you need to have a little margin? If you took that same money and bought treasury bills with it, you would get somewhere between 15 to 18% per annum. Are you getting that on this business? Are you able to recognize a return on the investments you've made?
Now, have you thought about this?
No, please.
Okay, but look at it this way also. If you're not tracking all that and not making profit and putting some aside, if you need to buy new machines to make these customers you love so much happy, how are you going to fund these machines?
That'll be a challenge.
Yeah, it shouldn't come from savings.
Yeah.
It should first of all come from the
it,
business. Okay. You should also be able to say, I'm doing well. And when you say I'm doing well, what does that mean? Does it mean I am getting 20% on what I've done? Or in fact, I'm just sewing for practically free. I'm dashing the clothes because I charge a nominal
As
amount.
Frank would put it, you're funding people's dressing.
Yes. Are you funding Ghana fashion? Or are you covering your costs and making some decent profit for yourself? So you and your bookkeeper, that is you now who works on admin, need to discuss all these things. So even as they are coming out with financial statements, you must understand the
What they are-
financial
yes,
statements.
yes.
What does it say? Because when I pick your financial statement, it will tell me a story. It will tell me that, oh, Na is doing very well with bridal. She's getting so much money. When I see her driving a BMW, I understand why she can drive that, because she's charging to do that. But if the numbers don't tell the correct story, then there's a problem somewhere. And you are already feeling the pinch.
I'm going to make her feel the pinch even better. I know that other than the the dresses and women's clothes, you also have another line of accessories, the scarves and the ties, which actually brings in the men. If we really do this exercise well, what if you found out that was actually the profitable line and not this one? Have you considered that?
No, please.
Okay. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll bring the male perspective in, and we'll also see your male accessories, and we'll take it from there. So viewers, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're still talking with Details by Neyomi, and we're exploring the industry of fashion. Fascinating stuff. Please stay with us.
Immediately the product was actually introduced to me, I wanted to get on it, and that was the Gold Check account, guys. This has actually changed my business. So on the First National Bank app, you have the business toolkits that gives you all the information that you need to run your business, and whatever inquiries you have, they're always ready to answer, and that makes life very easy for me. And you have the in contacts that helps you access every transaction that takes place or happens. Now, point of sales terminal, I market wherever I go, and so I love to have that so I can take payment, especially with those who tell me I do not have cash. A bank that understands that you can start life all over again or start a business from scratch. Very keen on running it and making sure that you grow to the core. It's one you should look out for. My name is Jifa Bekre Gray, the CEO of Jifa Gray Creations. I recommend that you sign up to the Gold Check account from First National Bank for a great banking experience.
Whatever the occasion, with ATL, you can never be out of style. ATL, bringing fabric to life.